Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for joining me on Trim and Tone. We are about to jump into your strength and cardio circuit. So you've got your bent over ITYs. Now with this one, if you decide you are not going to hinge at the waist, you can keep it standing with driving those thumbs out behind you in that very same position. In this case, folks, though, feel free to go ahead, keep that hip hinge going. You've got 30 seconds left on the clock. Let's let it ride. Eyes down and in front of the toes for just a little bit longer. 15 seconds to be exact. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, folks, next up, we've got your high knees. Now you can go ahead and march into this, getting those knees as high as the hip. But if you want to up that intensity, feel free to go ahead, add that hop in there, pump the arms. The faster you move the arms, the faster those feet will go. Try to keep that chest up, core nice and tight for the next 25 seconds. Remember, keep that chest up, pump those arms. Get those knees as high as you feel comfortable. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, we've got your side lunge pulse. So you're going to come down into that side lunge. Try to keep your chest up, but you're only going to come a quarter of the way up out of that side lunge. If you find that's not for you, you can always go for the full side lunge or only come down a quarter of the way and then completely out of it. You've got 30 seconds on the clock. Let's let this ride. With only 18 seconds to go, try to keep those eyes down and in front of the toes or directly out in front of you. Keeping your hands clasped together in front of the chest will help counterbalance those hips, those hammies, and those glutes as they sit behind you for 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, we have got your crunchy frogs. You're going to take it down to the ground, driving your low back and hips into the floor as you bring those knees to that chest and those hands to those knees, or maybe even to those heels as you swing those hands down and around. Keeping that chest up, lead with the chin so you really contract those abs, keeping those shoulder blades off the floor. Now, if you find that's too much, you can go with a single leg action, reaching for just the one heel, just like so. Or if you are not taking it to the ground, you can keep it standing with your crossbody mountain climber, driving the knee, reaching for it with the opposite elbow, keeping that balance for 10 more seconds. And 4, 3, 2, 1, done. We've got your squats with a lateral hop. So you're going to go ahead, squat down, hop to the right or left, go the length of the mat if you can, or get pretty close. You can step into it as well if you are not digging that hop. This is a great regression for if you are not digging the hop, or maybe you've been hopping for the last couple of seconds and your legs are burning. If they are on fire, do not be afraid to go ahead, take it down a notch and step into it until, of course, that fire starts to go out. Then ignite it again with those hops for the next 15 seconds. Let's go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead, folks, get that breather. Take that deep breath in. Remember, you want to keep it moving, though. So we've got your bent over ITYs. Now, whatever action bothers you, feel free to eliminate it. And here you go from the top. You can keep it standing, reaching above the head, stopping those hands right in front of the chest, as you can see. Now, this can be done from a standing position, or you can keep it in that classic bent over position, whatever works best for you. Whatever action bothers the shoulders, though, feel free to go ahead and eliminate it, whether it is the I, the T, or that Y at the end. Either way, folks, we're going to keep this going for 10 more seconds, and then we are moving on to your high knees. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to go ahead and drive those knees, remember, as high as the hip or as low as you feel comfortable. Keeping it going in 3, 2, 1, pumping the arms, moving those feet, getting those heels off the ground. And remember, you can march into this, you can hop into this, you can flex into this. If anything, folks, you can go ahead and just flex the feet so the heels come off the ground and you just pump the knees as best you can for 20 more seconds. We're almost through. "15 seconds to go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. We've got your side lunge with a pulse. So you're going to sit down in that side lunge, drop those hips behind you, and get as deep into it. Now remember, you're hitting the other side this time. You only want to come a quarter way out of that. And remember, if that's too much, you can only go a quarter of the way into it, and that'll work just fine. Let's keep this going for 25 more seconds. You're almost through. Ten more seconds to go, folks. Let's keep it going. Hips nice and low and behind you for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking it down to the ground for those crunchy frogs. Resting that low back into the ground. Keeping those hips low as well. Tapping the toes, the heels, or if you're not digging either of those actions, feel free to go ahead. Just let your hands touch the top of those knees as you kick those feet right back out. Keeping it going for 30 more seconds. Now remember, if you're not on the floor, you can keep it standing with that crossbody mountain climber, that crossbody crunch, bringing that knee up, tapping it with the elbow, keeping it going. 7 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, we've got your squats with that lateral hop. Remember, drop those hips as low as you feel comfortable, get out of it, and hop over. Now you can get that little side shuffle, or you can go ahead, get that full-blown hop over, and if the hop is too much, keep your hop or jump just a little bit lower to the ground. You've only got 25 more seconds of this. You've been at it for 10. You got this. Try to keep that chest up, and remember, your focus is as low into that squat as you can, and then getting that step over with that lateral action. 15 seconds to go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back at the top of those bent over ITYs. Keep that chest up, eyes out and in front of the toes. Only bring your head up as high as your neck feels comfortable. You want a nice neutral spine on this. You want to up the intensity. You can grab some light weights, maybe some water bottles. But really, folks, it is about that shoulder endurance. So you'd be surprised at how difficult this exercise gets the more often you do this during that 35-second interval. Keep this going for just 20 more seconds, and then we're switching it up back to those high knees. Keeping it going for 15. Seven seconds to go. Let's keep it moving. 3, 2, 1. All right, here come those high knees. Driving those knees as high as the hip, as low as you need. Keeping it going. Pump the arms, move the feet. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pumping the arms, moving those feet. Keep it going. You got this, folks. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Final 10 seconds, folks. Final 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we've got that side lunge pulse, but that is the last one, folks. So I'm going to let you know when to switch sides. So come down on whichever side you started on in the very beginning of this workout, and let's keep it there. And 2, 1. Stay nice and low in it. Pick those hips, drive those hips behind you and to that one side of the bent leg. Try to keep that weight in that heel for 25 more seconds, but we're going to have you switch in a couple. Keep it going. All right, switch it on over. Hit the other side, same deal. Now what helps your leg from sliding away on this one is making sure your toes are pointed forward. So make sure they're pointed out and away from you, not to the sides here. You want to make sure they're pointed forward, the same direction of that chest and shoulder. Keeping it going for 3, 2, 1. And we've got your crunchy frogs, taking it back down to the ground. Here we go. Driving that low back into the floor with those feet out. Bring it all in. Tap the heels, tap the knees, whatever works best for you. Just get those knees as close to your body as possible. Readjust if you have to. Keep it going though. 27 seconds. We're almost through. "15 seconds. Remember, the one leg option is always there. And something else to keep in mind, if you're not taking it down to the ground, keep it standing with that cross body crunch. Opposite knee to opposite elbow. Drawing that belly button to your spine for 2, 1, done. All right, we've got your squat hops with that lateral action. So drop those hips as low as you feel comfortable. Get that lateral hop to the right or left. Here we go. Final exercise before we get that 1-minute break. Let's keep it going. Chest up, core tight. You got this. "20 seconds to go. Final 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, done. All right, folks, go ahead, get that drink of water, whether it is something you have on screen, on site, or maybe you need to go get it real quick. Now remember, when it comes to taking that quick break, you're going to go ahead and grab whatever it is you're going to drink. Take a sip or two. You never really want to chug the whole thing. That can be a lot of pressure and or just a lot of sloshing around in round number 2. So keeping that in mind, go ahead, just keep that body moving for the next 30 seconds if you're ready to jump into it. Otherwise, sit tight. All right, and for your next exercise, just so you guys know, it is in fact a low to high plank with a shoulder tap. So you're going to start in that high plank, come down, come up, tap the shoulder. Same thing, come down, come up. Can be done from the knees, and this also can be done from the wall as well. So we've got about 10 seconds before we kick this off, so let's get ready. Three, 2, 1. Here comes that high plank with that shoulder tap. Let's keep it going. Now this can be done from the knees. I like to alternate sides on this one, folks, but it gets a little complicated. So feel free to stick to coming down on the right side, up on the right side, start the taps on the right side, and repeat from there. Personally, I like to come down on my right, up on my left, tap with my right, down on my left, right, up on my right. You get the idea. 10 seconds to go. Keep it going for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're up with our skiers, ladies and gents. You're going to step onto the right, step to the left. Now, you can hop into this, you can step into it, whatever works best for you, ladies and gents, just keep it moving. Now, the closer you keep those feet and knees together, the more intense this becomes. So the wider those legs are, the easier it is on those hips and knees, those ankles even. So feel free to go ahead, make whatever modifications you need to as we progress through this exercise. You've got 15 seconds left before we jump into the next one. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, we've got your crossover pulse lunge. So you're going to step that foot across that center line, drop the knee, only come up a quarter of the way, and then drop right back down. Just like that side lunge, except this time this is more of a test in balance. Try to keep your eyes on something out and in front of you, whether it is just your knee, those toes, or maybe there's just something in front of you that you're looking at. Like, man, I really got to sweep that section. Looks pretty gross over there. But anyway, keep it going for 20 more seconds. We're almost through. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, we've got your runner's crunch, taking it down to the ground, driving that low back and those hips into the floor. You're going to bring that knee up and bring that hand up to match the opposite side, of course. And remember, at this point, you want to bring it up cheek to cheek. One hand goes towards the cheek on your face, and the other hand goes towards the cheek, well, below the waist. Let's keep it going for 24 seconds. Now, if you're not on the ground, you can keep it standing with a standing mountain climber, reaching those hands up, driving that knee, keeping it going for 10 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alternating side lunge with a skip. So you're going to drop that knee down towards the ground, come out of it, get that knee drive, and then switch feet on your way down. Now, if you find that's a little too complicated for you, maybe you don't have the dexterity today or that balance, feel free to go ahead, get that knee drive at the top of that alternating lunge, and simply switch sides and repeat just like so. Keeping it going for 20 more seconds. Keeping it going for 10 more seconds. You're almost through. Then we're back at the top with that low to high plank with a shoulder tap in 3, 2, 1. All right. Starting that high plank, starting that low plank, whatever works best for you. Just try to keep that chest up, core nice and tight. And something else to keep in mind, folks, you don't want your back to arch on these. You want to make sure that they kind of round. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about right above your butt, folks. You want to make sure that your hips are drawn in towards your shoulders, but make sure that your low back isn't arching. I should not be able to launch a Hot Wheels car off of those hips. It should be more of a rugged terrain, something rounded. Keep it going for 10 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Next up, we've got your skiers hopping from side to side. Remember, the closer those feet are together and the closer those knees, the more intense this becomes. Let's keep it going. Woo! "25 seconds left on the clock. Let's keep it moving. Final 10 seconds, folks. Final 10 seconds. Let's keep it going. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, here comes that crossover lunge pulse once again. Stepping that foot in the opposite direction this time, dropping that knee and that hip, getting nice and deep in that. Now you can lessen that range of motion, maybe even step the foot further back rather than across. Keep that chest up, core nice and tight, keeping it going. "20 more seconds to go. You're almost through. Chest up, core tight. Keep it going for 10 more seconds. You're almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're back on the ground with that runner's crunch. Remember, hands going cheek to cheek, switching sides, hitting the other. Driving that knee as close to the chest / elbow as possible. Repeating on the opposite side. Here we go. "25 seconds. "15 seconds to go. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, we've got your alternating lunge skip once again. Now remember, you're going to step back into that lunge, drive the knee at the top, switching legs on your way down. Now remember, if that's too much for you, the alternating lunge and just getting that quick little shuffle works as well. Keeping it going for 30 more seconds. Keep that chest up. Lead with that chin if you can. Final 15 seconds. You got this. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, we've got your low to high planks with that shoulder tap. Remember, You can keep it to one side. You can switch it like I did. Whatever works best for you. Keeping this going for 23 more seconds. You're almost through. One side, other side, tap the shoulders, come back down. Now this is a shoulder stability exercise, folks. Make sure that you are keeping that core tight and tapping those shoulders. And if the low to high plank bothers you, stick to the shoulder taps. If the shoulder taps bother you, stick to the low to high plank. If either or both bother you, keep it to the knees or try it from the wall for 3, 2, 1. Next up, we're at the top right with your skiers, folks. More than halfway through on this one. In fact, this is the home stretch. Let's see those skiers. Keep those feet together as you hop side to side. "23 seconds, folks, of those hops. And final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, we've got your crossover lunge pulse. You're going to feel this in your IT band, your glutes, your hamstrings. But I'm going to let you know when to switch sides so you don't end up just burning out one leg. Keep that chest up, hands on your hips work, hands behind the ears work, behind the back, whatever works, just don't let them rest on that thigh. Keeping it here for 25 more seconds. You're almost through. Technically even less than that because we're switching sides at 19 seconds. Let's go. Don't topple over. Ten more seconds and we're going to go ahead, take a breather on the ground. Let's keep it going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we've got your runner's crunch, taking it down to the floor, bringing that knee up and that elbow in, and repeating from there. Let's see it. Final 30. Keeping it going for 14 more seconds, almost through. Remember, if you're not on the ground, you can get that classic mountain climber while standing. Keep it going for 4, 3, 2, 1. You've got that alternating lunge skip. So here we go, stepping back into that reverse lunge, dropping that knee and that hip, switching sides, repeating on the opposite. "25 seconds to go. Final 10 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Nice job, ladies and gents. Nice job. Way to make time for you today. If you like the workout, don't forget to like and subscribe right here on YouTube. And if you guys want to go ahead and check me out and hear the method behind the fitness, feel free to check me out on nerdcoaching.anchor.fm. With that said, folks, slow down if you have to, speed up if you can, but never, ever stop.